Does it just to spend money? What? On what? A therapist? Oh, or on trips, I guess, rather. Did I bring any water with me? I did. Seems like it's pretty warm in here. And we'll sort of have a meal later. Yeah, that sounds like a person who might be deeply emotionally abusing this man over the years they've been together, to the point where she just doesn't want him to go out anymore because then he might, you know, have other sources of joy. And then she won't control him anymore. It's just a theory. Oh yeah, like, when I'm traveling, that is, like, the most motivation that I have in my little body ever, usually. I usually get this, like, rush of motivation to edit videos and make posts and, like, clean and stream and organize and all this stuff, like, always when I'm, like, on a plane or in a hotel. Because it gives you that rush. I mean, I came back from Hawaii feeling so good for, like, 2 solid weeks. Yeah, short term. But, you know, even, like, the short term stuff can start to add up. Sometimes people have a hard time believing I have social anxiety, but that's mostly because they see me on my good day when I have social energy. Well, and I feel like when socially anxious people do socialize, it's because they're having a really good day and they've prepared for it and they are in a place where they can perform very well. You know, we have high standards for ourselves, for our own, like, humor or just the, you know, subjects of conversation that we think are really interesting. Like, that's part of what social anxiety is. It's just not thinking that you're good enough to interact socially, so that when you do, it's only because you finally reached some very high standard that very well could make you the most popular person in the room, and so now everybody thinks that you're just a total social guru. Like, I totally get that, because I'm kind of a... I guess I think of myself as, like, an outgoing introvert. Or, like, I do enjoy being around people when I enjoy it, and when it's comfortable, and, you know, when I've had time to recharge, prepare for it, like, feel like I'm ready to do it. But it still costs a lot of mental energy, and I'll have to go back into a hermit cave for a little while. And that's just how it is. I don't get energy from social interactions. I spend it
eat anything right about now.
doing social interactions, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy it when I can. Yeah, they don't see the bad days, which is good for everyone to remember about other people. Like, there are people that I see nothing but the highlight reels of their lives on social media, or even when I'm seeing them in person. And there could be all kinds of stuff going on under the surface that I don't know about and can't know about because I don't see it. Just like there's all kinds of things they don't see about me. I'm sure there are people that think that my life is peaches and rainbows, even on the days where I want to just punch my head through a brick wall. Called friends and said, sorry, it's too much today, and canceled going to parties or other social gatherings, even though I really wanted to go. Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst part. It's like, I do want to go. I'm just so overwhelmed by the idea of going. Brings purpose to every moment. Oh, totally. And gives you perspective. I mean, the people that travel the most, you know, you're learning something about... I mean, there's so much difference between, like, even the different states in the US. You don't have to go across a massive body of water to reach a different culture. It's, you know, things as simple as, like, the slightly more sandy color of all of the pavement in Nevada. Or at least in Vegas. Like, that threw me off. The concrete here is so, like, blue, gray, dark. But over there, it's, like, sandy, like the kind of reddish, brownish rocks that they have. It's, like, makes total sense. Would have never imagined it. Or just seeing an unfamiliar mountain range in the distance is like, what? I knew they had different mountains, but I didn't know they had different mountains. Like... Hey, what's up, Guntech? Yeah, I think the biggest difference for me, at least with depression, was getting to the point where it was like... the good days weren't once in a blue moon. It was the bad days that became once in a blue moon. Or like, having a bad day and realizing that you just inherently understand that that's not your default. You know, having it feel unfamiliar to feel sad is like, whoa, I forgot that this used to be the default setting. Like, that's when I realized that all of my struggles with depression had to do with ADHD, and they weren't just... it was a symptom, not a cause, not a condition. Heading to bed. Well, I hope you sleep real good. And I know the feeling of not wanting to do something mainly because you're being made to do it. Like, you would do the exact same thing as long as it was your idea. But I'm also pretty terrible at, like, following my own decided schedule and routine too, so. What can you do? I think that's a very ADHD thing. It's like, there's a lot to do with kind of acknowledgement for other people. Like, here's an ADHD symptom I have heard of that I do not identify with. I mean, I do and I don't. Kind of depends. But they call it body doubling, where if there's some task you need to complete that you're having trouble completing, for whatever reason, having someone else in the room, just one person, also doing a task, like studying, like someone else is in the room with you studying, suddenly it becomes easier to clean the house, do the dishes, fold your laundry. That I have never identified with because I'm the complete opposite, where it's like, if there's someone in the room with me, like, doing things that I know I need to do, that I keep procrastinating and putting off doing, that feel painful to do, or feel like they're going to be painful to do, like, I need complete privacy to do them. Like, and I don't know what it is, you know? Like, if I want to go for a walk because I know that I need to do more cardio and I've been feeling tired lately, like, I need to get some physical activity done, like, I'm getting better at it, but usually my impulse would be to, like, wait till no one is home. Go out the back door so I don't wind up on the doorbell camera. Like, you know, don't let anyone know that I'm going. So that it can all be done in total privacy. And it makes no sense, because it's like, what's the point? Say I'm going on a walk and go on a walk. Big whoop, right? Do things last minute? Yep, because once the urgency is there, that's when your limbic system knows what to do. That's when the brain says, oh, right, we have to do this or something really bad is going to happen. We understand that game, so now it's important enough to do it. That's the thing, is like, it's why ADHD is so associated with like instant gratification. It's not that we don't understand that if I study a week in advance, I'll do well in the test. We know that. And we know that it will benefit us in that we're going to have all this time to do other stuff. We won't have to worry about it anymore. But our brain just doesn't chemically understand. Like, it doesn't sense that it's going to get that, like, dopamine reward for doing it early. All it knows is that it's going to have to focus on a thing it doesn't want to do, and that sounds like torture, and so it won't let you do it. So when it's like, oh, now there is a consequence to not doing this, I have to do it now or there will be a consequence, that's when your brain kicks in. Like, that's all that it understands. Because I am also a very bad procrastinator, and frankly, university is so much work. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who doesn't at least somewhat procrastinate. Like, it just happens when we've got a whole lot of shit to do. But yeah, I mean, I can certainly identify with that. You know, if I start cleaning 5 minutes, I have to make it perfect. It takes 2 hours. Same. I kind of have to trick my brain sometimes, because it's like, yeah, if I tell myself I'm only going to clean for 5 minutes, it's easier to start. But, like, I'm also intelligent enough to know that you're probably going to keep cleaning and it's going to be longer than 5 minutes. Like, but at least by that point, it's like you're doing it at that point because you want to. But I'll get myself into tasks where, like, I can't quit doing it, or else there's going to be, you know, it's just going to be a bad situation. I have to finish it. You know, like, I was working on my mom's veil the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and we were getting on a plane to Vegas the next day. I ended up staying up until about 3 because I had to get to a proper stopping point. So, not just for my own mental, like, satisfaction, but because I had to be able to put it away, clean up the mess in the living room from doing it, because there was a shit scatter all over the place, and pack. I had to pack. It's like, I have to finish this so that I can move on. Get a non-ADHD throw from letting things go to the wire, and then rescuing them. True. Yeah, I don't think you have to be neurodivergent to get satisfaction out of procrastination. Not at all. I have 66 sticks. I think I can drop a few. I'm gonna drop them all for now.